So part A asks us to draw a free body diagram, and this would be the free body diagram for this system. And for part B, they want us to find the magnitude of the tension force. So in order to do this, we need to use the sum of the torque. This is in rotational equilibrium in part B. So we can say that the sum of the torques is going to be equal to 0 Newton meters. And we can say that this is going to be equal to T cosine of theta times 5.5 meters, the distance away from the axis of rotation, and then it will be minus the weight of the arm times cosine theta again, times again the distance from the axis of rotation. My apologies, this is actually centimeters, my apologies. And this would be 16 centimeters. And then it would be minus the weight of, again, 38 centimeters times cosine of theta. So this would be the weight that is in the hand. And essentially, you can see that all the cosines are going to cancel out. This equals 0, by the way. So we can say that T, the tension force, is simply going to be equal to 16 times the weight of the arm plus 38 times the weight in the hand, divided by 5.5, the distance from the tension force to the axis of rotation. And we find that this is going to be equal to, we can say T is going to be equal to 16 times 9.8, the gravity, times 2.16, that would be the mass of the arm, plus 38 times gravity, times 7.5 kilograms, the mass of the weight. And then this would be divided by, of course, 5.5. We don't have to convert to meters in this case because the centimeter unit is, of course, going to cancel out, and we'll only have an acceleration times a mass. So this is going to be equal to 569 newtons. So this would be your answer for part B. For part C, they simply want us to find the reaction forces. So essentially E sub H and E sub V. And so we can say that the sum of forces in the x direction equals 0 newtons. And the only force in the x direction is actually E sub H. So E sub H would, of course, equal 0 newtons. And we can say that the sum of forces in the y direction, however, this is going to equal the tension force minus E sub V minus the weight of the arm minus the weight in the hand. So essentially E sub V, and rather this would equal 0 newtons because it's in vertical, rather equilibrium in the y direction, translational equilibrium in the y direction rather. And this would be equal to, E sub V would be equal to the tension minus the weight of the arm minus the weight in your hand. And this is giving us 569 newtons minus 2.16, the mass of your arm, plus the mass of the weight, times the acceleration due to gravity. And we find that E sub V is going to be equal to 474 newtons. So this would be your answer for the y component, and then this would be the x component. For part D, they're asking us here, how is the tension force changing as she raises her arm? Well, the tension force we found to be independent of the angle. So here, the tension force will be constant as she raises her arm. And we can say T independent of theta, the angle measure. That is the end of the solution. Thank you for watching.